Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Cha Tatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahastamalakamcha cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Karamanya Nasmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purana Namalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidparam Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Three vasanas that can bind us: Loka Vasana, Deha Vasana, Shastra Vasana. In that Shastra Vasana, we saw there are also three types. I don't know whether we did that part, not sure. So here it is said that Loka Vasana is what? Yam Vasana Atyantam Pradibandika Tata Kenapi Statum Ashakyatvat. It's not possible for anyone in this world to overcome this unless one very diligently avoids it. What is it? Jivan Mukti Viveke Vasana Kshaya Karane Prakarane Vidyaranya Guru Charanehi Bistarena Upapaditam. Vidyaranya in his Jivan Mukti Viveka has explained this. Ko lokam aradayidum samartha. Who is that possible in this world to really appease the world? Vidyate na kalu kaschit upaya. There is no real method available. Sarvaloka paritoshakaraha yaha. That which can satisfy everybody in this world. Sarvata swahitam acharaniyam. Therefore, do not really worry too much about log kya kahenge. Log ke kaam hai kehna. Because they cannot urvaya adakya mudiyadu. Tamil. Never can you shut up the word in Tamil. You can never shut up the word. If one is not saying, another will say that. So there is no way anybody can appease everybody in this world. So never even stop your progress or your self-growth because somebody doesn't like it, somebody doesn't want it. Swa hitam acharaniyam. It's very important. For my own personal growth, what I need to do, that is the priority number one. Kim karishyati jano bahu jalpah. People in the world are constantly engaging in something or the other. Our interest is not only that, it is nothing which is of my concern. One minute. So, here, Kim karishyata jano bahu jalpah. People, even if they are not, it is nothing to do with them, they want to know what is happening in neighborhood. Because they have no other work. वो क्या करता है, ये क्या करता है, वो क्यों ऐसा चलता है, वो क्यों ऐसा कहता है. Why is she wearing that dress? Why is she? This only shows one is not interested in one's growth at all. The mind is turned extrovert, will never find any happiness, nor it will have find time to personal doing something oneself. So, Kim karishyate jano bahu jalpah. Janaha bahu jalpah. People are continuously engaged in something or the other. Added to that, you have input from CNN, BBC, ATN. All sort of things are also coming, and which I have no connection, that also come to my head. So therefore, Ata eva tulya ninda stutihi bhagavat bhaktah iti uktam Gitaya. Therefore, in Gita it is said, tulya ninda stutihi mauni santushto yena kenachit aniketa stiramatihi bhaktiman me priya. Shastra vasana, other way, is a trivida. One is called Pata Vyasanam, Shastra Vyasanam, Anushtana Vyasanam. We saw that, I think. Some people are interested in study, some people are interested in competing with others, Shastra, and other people who are so worried about how to practice it. So this way, these are etani vasanabi jnanam yadavan naiva jayate. Yatavat jnanam na jayate. The knowledge will never take place as it is when the mind is so preoccupied with these kind of vasanas. स्वामी जी मेरे पास शास्त्र वासना कोई भी नहीं. शास्त्र वासना की बात में मत करो. That I am not at all interested. Then it must be what? Other one only. लोक वासना, लोग क्या कहेंगे, or deha vasana. It's about whatever that is demanded by the body. Taking care of the body. As many things as I can put on my body, I should do it. So this way, there is no end to this. And here he calls them as chains. The chains that are tying you down into this world. Shankaracharya is very strong about when he is talking about these things. Samsara kara griha moksha micho ayomayam padani batta shringalam ayomayam padani batta shringalam vadanti tajñāha patuvāsanatrayam vadanti tajna patuvasanatrayam yosmat vimuktah samupaiti muktim. Yosmat vimuktah samupaiti muktim. Samsarakara grihamokshamichoho ayomayam padanibatta shringalam vadanti tajnaha patuvasanatrayam yosmat vimuktah samupaiti muktim. Samsarakara agraha. So this is this very let me see that verse number 272 276. Yeah. So this one which is karanam for the samsara. Samsara eva karagriham. Samsara eva karagriham. Karagriham means imprison. Prison. Prison means what? Prison is where a person is caught up. He can move, but in a limited way only. That is, when you are carrying a cell in your hand, you are in cell. Where the signal is not available, you feel that you are miserable. Therefore, what? You are in cell. Nowadays, we are not in cell. We are carrying the cell with us. And interesting thing is, when it rings, you cannot but take it. You have to take it. You feel that you are committing a sin if you don't take it. You know, this is what we have come to today's world. Now also, I am also making sure that I do not have that cell now. Okay. Put it in airline mode. So, Karagriham. Tasmat mokshamichoho. Samsara karagraha mokshamichoho. Those who really want to get liberated from the prison called samsara. What they do? And in the past, the prison, what they do? They not only put them in the prison, but also put iron chain with a huge, what do you call it? Iron ball tied to that. Can't even move. That is called pet. Today's world. The iron ball is nothing but your pet. कहीं नहीं जाना. क्यों? ये है ना. It just pulls you back. Come on, come home. Come home. Not even worried about wife or children. They say, oh, pet hai na. Usko, I have to feed that fellow. Kya kare? So, ayomayam. It's like a chain made of iron. Bahudrudam padanibatta shringalam. It is tying up your feet. And nibaddam shringalam ati rupakam. Even shringalam iti rupakam. This is a kind of a simile that is given. A kind of a rupaka means a illustration has been given like this. Yata ayasa shringala baddha padam yugmaha gantum na shaknoti. When this pair of feet are tied up to a iron chain cannot move at all, in the same way, evam lokadivasanatraya yutaha. Loka, shastra, deha, iti vasanatraya yutaha, one who is with those things, Vishnohu paramam padam naiva praptam shaknoti. It cannot reach the feet of the Lord. Iti abhipraya. This is what is to be understood. Yo naraha asmat purvokta vasana trayat vimukta. Whoever he be the person who is free from all these three vasanas, tanu krita vasanaha, meaning he has reduced the effect of the three, sa muktihi samupayati yadavat jnanena iti shesha. Such a person alone can finally be able to be released. And this is no, what is release means? Jnanam yatavat prapnoti. As it is said earlier also, that the knowledge takes place as is, without any pollution in the mind. Because our knowledge is always polluted by our vasanas. And especially when you have loka, this is loka vasana, shastra vasana, or deha vasana. So what happens is, interesting thing is, many people listen to any spiritual lecture, etc. They don't take everything that they want. I mean, they need to. So they will come after the session and then come. Swamiji, what is applicable to me? Can you tell me? What does it mean? Meaning, they filter everything. ये मेरे लिए नहीं है, ये मेरे लिए नहीं है. So even when the study takes place, I think this is not for me, it is said. I can leave it. It is for somebody else. Why are you filtering it? मुमुक्षु के लिए ही बताया. For anybody who wants to liberate only, everything is said. Don't even say that this is not for me. Everything that is said is applicable for everyone. So according to our vasana also, we keep removing things unwanted. No, this is not what needed. It is like I particularly have a vasana for food, a particular kind of food. All others are there, I remove it. No, that's not for me. I will go for that. The sweet only I want. This way, don't do the study of Shastra. Shastra, what is said there, especially Moksha Shastra, it is meant for us to follow every bit of it. That's why I say Amanittama Madambittam Ahimsa Shanti Arjvam Acharyopanam. So even the 20 verses values are given, we cannot choose it. I think one or two I can do it. Other things now. Madhusudana Saraswati says all of them. Without compromising any one of them, all the 20 values have to be practiced. Then only it is complete. Some vasanas can be there, some vasanas I remove. No. All of them can go away, then alone, muktihi. This is what he said. Jnate vastanyabhi palavadi vasana anadiresha. Muktim parahu tadihamanayo vasana tanavam. Even one vasana sitting there, that will cause the bondage. Even one thing is just sitting there, will not allow you. It will create viparita bhavana. That's what it's going to be said. Viparita bhavanam tyaja. Tatra pratibandhaka vasana apanayane sadrushtantam atma vasana sabhedanam karanam aha. Samedhanam karanam aha. See, so therefore, only upon removing all the various distractions caused by the vasanas and Atma Vasana, one should pick it up. Gurudev always would say, hold on to something to leave something else. So hold on to Atma Vasana. So what is that? That is beautifully given. So Vasana, the meaning also means, in Sanskrit, Vasana is there for tendency, inclination. In many Indian languages, Vasana also means smell. Right? Vase. Vasana in Tamil, Vasana means smell. Taking that as the example, how these Vasanas are. So now, wonderfully, it's connected here. Jaladi samparkavashat prabhuta. Jaladi samparkavashat prabhuta. Durgandha duta garuk divya vasana. संघर्षणेनैव विभाति सम्यक्
संघर्षणेनैव विभाति सम्यक्
विदूयमाने सदि बाह्यगन्धे
विधूयमाने सदिबाह्यगन्धे
अन्तश्रितानन्तदुरन्तवासना
अन्तश्चितानन्तदुरन्तवासना
धूलीविलिप्ता परमात्मवासना
धूलीविलिप्ता परमात्मवासना
प्रज्ञादिसङ्घर्षणतो विशुद्धा
प्रज्ञादिसंहरणतो विशुद्धा
प्रतीयते चन्दनगन्धवत्स्फुटा
प्रतीयते चन्दनगन्धवत्स्फुटा
जलादिसम्पर्कवशात् प्रभूत दुर्गन्धदूता गरुदव्यवासना सङ्घर्षणेनैव विभाति सम्यक् विदूयमाने सदि बाह्यगन्धे अन्तःश्रितानन्तदुरन्तवासना धूलीविलिप्ता परमात्मवासना प्रज्ञादिसङ्घर्षणतो विशुद्धा प्रतीयते चन्दनगन्धवत्स्फुटा. You take a incense stick, for example, and dip it in the water for some time, and then you smell it. Horrible smell it will give. Even though the dhupa is basically will give the very, very pleasant fragrance. But when it is associated with water for some time, it will become so obnoxious, as Gurudev writes, obnoxious smell it will go. Why? Jala, jaladi samparka. Samparka means mishra. Mixed with water, vashat, due to that. Prabhuda durgandha, the extremely obnoxious smell that will come out of that. Duda agaru, that very durgandha duta agaru, that which is now endowed with such a kind of obnoxious smell. Divyavasana sangarshanena eva vibhati. By removal of the water or the sediments of water over a period of time alone, removal of the water element from that alone, you will be able to get the Divyavasana. Samyak viduyamane sati bahyagandhe. Bahyagandhe viduyamane sati. The obnoxious external water element which is there, upon removing alone, you get it. Whatever is already there as its original smell. So, original smell of the agaru is very divyam, very pleasant and divine. But in connection with the water, it has already gained some kind of a dirt involved in that, which causes the durgandha. Agaroho jaladi samparkavashat prabhuta bahulaha ya durgandha tena duda agaru divyavasana saurabhyam sangarshanena bahyagandhe viduyamane apaniyamane tiraskriyamane eva samyak vibhati iti drishtanta. So here the important point is removal of something will reveal what is already there. In the same way, another example is given, that of the sandalwood. Same. Antashrita ananta duranta vasana dhuli vilipta paramatma vasana. Antashrita means what is already there within us. Ya ananta, which is endless, infinite. Bahuvida duranta dushpalada vasana anatma vasana. this inner self which is pure and blissful, which is now in association with Anatma Vasana. What is Anatma Vasana? Deha Vasana, Shastra Vasana, and Loka Vasana. Sa eva dhuli, they are all called dust. So when you take the sandalwood, when it is filled with the dust, unless you remove the dust and start rubbing, you will not get the actual smell. So rubbing against the stone, which they do, I remember growing up when I used to go to the temples in Kerala. In Guruvayur, for example, they continuously engage in making this sandalwood paste, because Bhagavan will be decorated with chandan every day, and that chandan is not the dukan say, they will do it there, and they will create the chandan by there is one person his job is to do only that whole day, keep on doing that, and then they take that, it's called kavalam. That's what they use it as for the. See, otherwise, the form of the Lord is not very clearly seen. You might have seen that. It's a small form only. But the face also cannot be seen because they don't put any light. So the light that is put is only the lamp. In that lamp, oil lamp only or ghee lamp, only whatever light that is there only will show it. So to make that black form of the granite form, to make it bright, and they will put their eyes, they'll put the eyebrow, and then so it looks so beautiful. That is because of the application of the chandana. So the chandana is constantly being rubbed, and whatever, you don't need to add anything at all in that chandana, and then they give that as a prasad, and that prasad is the most fragrant, coming from nature only. Nothing added there. So here, dhuli, the dust that is there in our personality also, our Atman is of the nature of total bliss, but yet because of Anatma Vasana, which is in the form of a dust, how it covers. That's why in example that is given by Bhagavan Shankara, Krishna, what did he say in Gita? Dhumena priyate bhaknihi yatolbena vruto garbha dhumena vriyate bhaknihi yatadarsho malena cha yatolbena vruto garbha tata tenedam avrutam tena ajnanena idam atma avrutam. This Atman is covered by that ajnan. Ajnan means anatma vasana. Like what? Like that of smoke covering the fire, dust covering the mirror, fetus covered by the womb. So, when the tamasic vasanas are there, it is as hard as the fetus covered by the womb, because you cannot force it to come out, it will take its own time. Whereas in the case of dust covering the mirror, you can do the action of cleaning it. That is the rajasic vasanas. Action is required. Whereas the vasanas of the sattvic nature are like the smoke covering the fire, done, gone. So he will explain each of the vasanas have to be rajasic vasana, how to overcome, tamasic vasana, how to overcome, and how to overcome sattvic vasana. So here, agaru is like very important, like a rajasic vasana, where it is associated with the water. You have to take it out, remove the layer of that water which caused the durgandha, and then you get the original, the smell of the incense stick. Whereas in the case of the sandalwood, it's a dust, the layer of dust which covers the layer. You remove that by rubbing, and then you get So, Visheshena Lipta Duli Abhibhuta Paramatma Vasana, and by correct understanding, Prajnaya, meaning with correct wisdom, Tameva Dhiro Vijnaya Prajnam Kurvida Brahmanaha. Tameva Dhiraha Vijnaya, for the sake of knowing that real nature, Prajnam Kurvida Brahmanaha. Iti Shrutya Brahmatmano Shodhidayo Ekabhava Avagahini Nirvikalpa cha Chinmatra Vrittihi Prajneti Kalpyakatyate. Brahma Atmanoho, of the Brahman and Atman, Shodhitayoho Ekabhava Avagahini, that which brings about the correct understanding, the oneness between Brahman and Atman, Nirvikalpacha Chinmatra Vrittihi. When in the state of Nirvikalpa, the vritti that arises of the oneness between Brahman and Atman is called Prajna. Prajneti Katyate. Iti Vakshamana, and it is going to come later on. So, yad adisamkarshanam manasaha kosha samparkena stapanam, kosha asamparkena stapanam. Without associating with any of the koshas, streets, stapanam tadaha vishuddha, becoming clean, anatma vasana asamprukta, not associated with anything which is not the self. Chandana gandavat, like that of the smell of the sandalwood, sputa pratiyate. Clearly it will reveal iti dashtyantikam. Dashtyantikam, this is the example that is given. So now he will start to explain the nature of Atman, how one should move from Anatma Vasana to Atma Vasana. Uktamartam Sangrihnadi Anatma iti. Anatma Vasana Jalaihi
Anatma Vasana Jalaihi
Tiro Bhutatma Vasana
Tiro Bhutatma Vasana
Nityatma Nishtaya Tesham
Nityatma Nishtaya Tesham
Nasho Bhati or Nasho Yati Nashe Bhati Swayam Sputa
Nashe Bhati Swayam Sputa
Anatma Vasana Jalaihi Tiro Bhutatma Vasana Nityatma Nishtaya Tesham Nashe Bhati Swayam Sputa. It is called Jala. Anatma Vasana Jala. Jala means net. So that is called, internet is called Anatma Vasana Jala. Whatever is said there continuously holding you into captivity, that is called the net, internet. Indrajalam, it is called. Indra's net called internet. So, Anatma Vasana Jalaihi Tirobhut, being covered, screened away. What is that? Atma Vasana. So, interesting, he uses the word Atma Vasana. Vasana is usually what? A tendency, an inclination. What he says is that even to realize the self, you must have an inclination to realize the self. You must take interest to realize the self. So develop that Atma Vasana. Nityatma Nishtaya Tesham Nashe. What? Tesham Vasanatraya. Three kinds of vasana which are talking about, which is spoken about earlier. Tesham Nashe Swayam Sputabhati. What? Atma Vasana Swayam Sputabhati. It will reveal itself. Anatma Vishayinyaha Ya Vasanaha Loka Deha Shastra Vasanaha. These three of them, Loka Vasana, Shastra Vasana and Deha Vasana. These three Dambo darpo vimanascha krodha parushyameva cha ityadina asura sampattvena drishyamana manasa vasanascha. So, pride, arrogance, and abhimana, ego, anger, krodha, parushyam, harshness, all these are called asuri sampat. They are called rakshasic or demonic uh, virtues, not virtues, demonic characteristics. Tasam jalaihi samohaihi, with those as a net, atmavasana tirobhuta, vyakritnyakrita. So by these things, one's own inclination towards the self is screened away. Tesham anatmavasana jalanam nitya ya atmanishta brahmani parisamaptihi taya nashe swayam sputa vivikta bhavati. So, by removing the anatmavasana jalanam nashe, then only the natural inclination towards the self will take place. So it is very hard because why people find, all of us find it very hard to maintain the constant desire to liberate, because all other things take priority, right? In our life, daily challenges take priority. So many other things that are to be taken care, they take priority. So that is the reason why spiritual disciplines are necessary, such as exclusively finding a time for ourselves to remind ourselves, all said and done in daily life, my final purpose is to release. This has to be reminded again and again and again and again. Shastra study is also for that only. Satsang is also for that only. Sitting quietly with God is also for that only. Sitting with yourselves also quietly for that only. And if you don't have time for that, if you don't have time for yourself, what are you doing? बहुत काम है, यही बहुत काम है. क्या आपके पास आपको बैठना नहीं, टाइम नहीं है? Don't you have time to be with yourself? What a tragedy it will be, right? I don't have time for myself. That's what happens to people. Once when you sit with yourself, then only you realize that, yes, I have to get release of all these things. I have to find a way to end all these chains which are tying me down. So that is what is called developing Atmavasana. Going closer to your own self so that you understand how all others are covering it, screening it, taking your attention away from it. So here, Nitya Atmanishtaya, staying with yourself, Tesham Nashe, by their destruction, Swayam Spruta Bhati. Then one gets clarity. जो मैं कर रहा हूं, दिन भर कर रहा हूं, दिन भर, right? Is it necessary that I have to do all these things? Or it is such a fancy, or it's a habit? What I am doing every day, is it something which I am forced to do, obliged to do, want to do, habituated to do, or I need to do? Many times we find that we do because we never question whether to be done or not. Sometimes you will find, I think I am of that such an age I have come to, these things need not be done anymore. Leave it. The world will take care of itself. I'm too worried about if I don't do, nobody will do. You will be surprised. Some others will do better than you. Then you will find, Arey, itna din, these days I thought I only can do these things. Now I realize somebody else can do this also. I mean, you give to those people who have vasana for that. Chalo, aap karo abhi. Because you have the vasana to do it. Until you realize that you are also caught in a chain. You pray that they don't realize that part. So here, only when that is removed, vasanatraya, tesham nashe bhati swayam. So Gurudev also write that this is very important. Study of the scriptures, practice of meditation, sincere devotion to God, and selfless dedicated activity in the world, these will bring religion and spirituality into every minute of our lives. These are all various ways are pointed out in our scriptures. Even one of them will you take, you will find it is coming closer. Study of scripture you take. Practice of meditation you can do. Sincere devotion to God and worship of God, or do some seva selflessly. All these things will get you very close to yourself, with the intent to go towards yourself, to be with yourself, to be with your own quiet, calm, composed, contemplative mind. So, next verse is, Gurudev says, is very important verse. Please mark it. This is very important because we must remind ourselves. Yata yata pratyagavastitam manah
यथा यथा प्रत्यगवस्थितं मनः
tata tata munjati bhyavasanaha
तथा तथा मुञ्चति बाह्यवासनाः
निःशेषमोक्षे सदिवासनानाम्
निःशेषमोक्षे सति वासनानाम्
आत्मानुभूतिः प्रतिबन्धशून्या
आत्मानुभूति प्रतिबन्धशून्या
यथा यथा प्रत्यगवस्थितं मनः तथा तथा मुञ्चति बाह्यवासनाः निःशेषमोक्षे सदिवासनानाम् आत्मानुभूतिः प्रतिबन्धशून्या. So, yatha yatha manaha pratyakavasthitam. This is what Bhagavan Krishna also has spoken. Yato yato shane shanehi uparame buddhya dhridigrihitaya atma samstam manakritva na kinchitapi chintaye. Don't think of anything else. Whenever the mind is going out, yato nichsarati. So shanehi uparame. Slowly withdraw. At once withdrawal is not possible and it will run. If you forcefully quieten the mind, it will protest. Right? You cannot force even anything, anybody, any person also. Forcefully you ask him or him or her to do anything, they'll protest. Why? Why should I do that? Guide, slowly guide the mind. Its mind is like your teenager only. Spoiled brat. Spoiled for many lives, not one, not two lives, many lives. Shanehi, uparamet. Buddhya. Buddhi with the convinced mind, intellect, bring the mind. What? Dhridigrihitaya, which is having a firm hold on it. Atma samstam manakritva, keeping the mind on the self. Here the self can be portrayed as a Bhagavan's form also. It's easy alambanam. Bring, yena kena prakarena manakrishnam nivedayet. Any way possible, bring the mind to God, Bhagavan. Just bring it. Upasana is the best one, because that at that time, an hour or so, or 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time, keep your mind one with the worshipful Lord. That itself is a great practice. Because abstractly bringing the mind to the self is difficult. So I can take an external alambana form. So Atma samstam manakritva na kinchit, anyat kinchit na chindayet. Now don't bring any other thought at that time. Because so here also asma logat pretya edamannamayamatmanam upasankramati from Taittiriya Upanishad. Iti smritya cha kaditam artham iti shrutya tata smritya cha kaditam artham vasanaksharya upayam. And that is the upaya is given here. Yata yata pratyagavastitam manaha. Whenever you bring mind to yourself, pratyak means within, avasthitam staying, manaha, tata tata, to that extent, bahyavasanaha munchati. External vasanas get released, from there you will get released. Whenever you make an attempt to bring your mind to yourself, to that extent the external vasanas lose their power. It is as much as there is so many things that you can eat and you decided not to eat, to that extent they become weak. You become strong. Is it not true? Whenever you submit to their taste and other thing, to that extent you become weak. That is why Bhagavan also said in Gita that when you turn away from objects, they turn away from you. Because objects do not have their power to attract you if you have decided to turn away. What is the word? You know it. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dena. Nivartante. No pravartante. Nivartante, they turn away. Vishayaha nivartante. Yata. So when you turn away, they will turn away. They will not come to you. No object is coming to you and saying, come on, eat me, eat me, eat me. Drink me, smoke me, smoke me. Cigarette is coming to me, walking. Come on, smoke me. That is not true. So here, yata yata pratyagavastitam manaha tata tata munchati bahyavasanaha. Nishesha mokshe sati. Vasananam nishesha mokshe sati. When you have become completely freed from all the vasanas, atmanubhutihi, experience of the self, pradibandha shunya, with no obstacle at all. There cannot be more direct instruction than this. That's why Gurudev said this is important. Your own attempt to let go of your vasana by turning your attention to the self, practice of that again and again alone can make you get out of the hold of the vasanas. So that is the prayatnam, that is the sadhana that needs to be done. Yata yata pratyak antaha manaha avasthitam adhyasa vairagyabhyam, by practice and dispassion. Tada tata bhakyavasanaha putradishu mamatam annamayado ahanta cha munchati. Identification with the relationship and with attachments, that also one's own idea of aham with respect to body, etc. Vasananam nishesha mokshe sati. When you're released from these vasanas, nirvikalpa samadhi nairantaryena, by attempt of the nirvikalpa samadhi. See, these words are very big sounding, right? Nirvikalpa samadhi kaisa hoga? It is possible only by the yogis. But attempt to reach there can be done by even a person who knows practice, and vairagya can take you to the glimpse of nirvikalpa samadhi to some extent, and by practice of being there only you will know how deep you can go into. You will leave it aside. Na, abhi nahi. Oh, retire ke baad mein karenge. Kab retire hoge? Aap, why are you not, what do you mean by retirement? 85, 90. Are, you will not be going to be alive even. When you are alive and kicking, please do it. When you can't even get up, what will you do? So that's why I'm saying, when I can't even get up, that is the time it will help. Your body will not even sit there for a moment. It will just lie down and sleep. When the body is healthy, at that time one should practice this. Otherwise, Vedantartha Vichara Purassaram. And that also should be done after proper contemplation upon what we are doing by study is actually contemplation. We are going back to the same idea over and over again so that you cannot forget it. Purassaram kriyamanena rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate, same verse. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam. Rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Even that taste for that Vishayas will also go away. Iti smritya nishesham yata Sukshma atman Sukshma atmana api na syat tata mula jnanena ashrayena saha moksha atyantam nivrittau mokshe atyantam nivrittau. When the total ignorance also, which is the root cause of everything, is also removed, atma anubhutihi pratibandha shunya nirargala bhavati, without any kind of obstacle. So Gurudev writes here, lesser the vasanas, lesser are the agitations of the mind. Lesser the agitation of the mind, more contemplative is the mind intellect. No vasanas, no mental turmoil, complete contemplation. Then the experience of the divine is effortless and natural. So, now the next topic is very beautiful. 15 verses on, 16 verses on how to end the adhyasa. Adhyasa is superimposition, not deliberate superimposition. Superimposition done by mistake. What we have mistaken one as other, this has to be ended, and that requires self-effort. Adhyasa nivritti abhyasena bhavati. Abhyas karna hai adhyasa nivritti ke liye. Only one letter difference. Adhyasa and abhyasa. Abhyasena adhyasa nivritti. So this, what kind of abhyasa, what kind of effort to be put? Swatmanyeva sada stitva
Swatmanyeva sada stitva
mano nashyati yoginaha
mano nashyati yoginaha
vasananam kshayaschataha
vasananam kshayaschataha
swadhyasapanayam kuru Swadhyasapanayam kuru
Swadhyasapanayam kuru
Swatmanyeva sada sitva mano nashyati yoginaha vasananam kshayaschataha swadhyasapanayam kuru. The last portion will be fourth quarter remaining the same in all the verses. Swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Adhyasasya apanayam. Apanayam. Nayam is to lead. Apanayam is to take it away. Kuru, do it. What? Swadhyasa apanayam. The superimposition done by mistake must be removed with effort. See, when we make a mistake, we do not know it's a mistake. It doesn't mean it doesn't give an effect. Abhi mistake, I slapped on myself. You will get the pain. But pata nahi main kyun kiya hai? Whether you knowingly did or unknowingly did, the effect will be the same. No, I did not. I unconsciously did. The effect will be there. So adhyasa, whether you, many people don't even know what is adhyasa, right? Bondage they are in, they don't even know that there is a bondage. Amiji, that's why I said, no, Vedanta padne se मुझे जो पहले पता नहीं अभी पता हुआ है, उसके बाद मेरा मन इतना कट हो गया. My mind has become so troubled. Earlier I was not even knowing that I am in bondage. So everybody was like that, I was also like that. Now I know. No, it's a problem. Kya karu? I should not have done this mistake of coming to Vedanta. Now you can't help it. You have come. Now you know. Now you cannot unlearn this. So what you should do? Adhyasa apanayam kuru. Remove this bondage which is in the form of superimposition. How do you do? Vasananam kshayascha. Vasananam kshayaha ataha. So, how do we do that? Sada manaha swatmani eva stitva. Keeping your mind at all time on the self. Yoginaha manaha nashyati. So, mind can be destroyed only when mind is taken to the self. Otherwise, independently it is staying there, it will create all kind of havoc. So only when you bring him closer to the self, it will slowly lose its power to agitate you. So bringing the mind to the self cannot be done unless there is a practice. So attempt in meditation is to make, that's why I say, yado nischarati manaha chanchalam astiram tatastato niyamya etat atmanyeva vasham. Don't wait. I think my mind will be better off at morning. 7 o'clock it is good. 7 o'clock you will find something else to do. So it is not a right time. When is the right time for your mind to settle down? I think it is sleep. So do not wait for the auspicious hours. Rasai Ragu Kal ho gaya, Swamiji, karna nahi chahiye. So what Ragu Kal, Yamakanta and all this. For doing anything wrong, we don't look for the auspicious time, do you? I have to shout at you, wait, no. 8:30. I think 8:45 Ragu Kala ends. I'll shout it. Panchang nahi dekhte ho tam. You look at the Panchanga or thing before you shout at anybody. In fact, if you do that, you will not shout. That's another thing. If you postpone, you'll stop. If you only postpone, there is momentary madness called anger. If you can do that, just postpone it. Okay, wait, I will just have some water and come back and shout at you. You will find that you can't do that. You cannot shout in the same way as you intended. So that's why they say, no, when you're angry, go to the next room, have 1 cup of water and come back. You will not be able to do this. Try that. You're so angry. Wait. Go and have soda and come back. When you come back, you will not get soda. So, for bad things, if we can do that, you will get released immediately. Swamiji, that ice cream, is so much tempting. Go down and come back another 10 minutes later. The thought would have gone. Easy way to get rid of this. So here, bringing the mind again and again to the self is the only way to overcome the vasanas. Vasananam kshayaha cha ataha swa adhyasa apanayam kuru. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kasyad dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.